Hello, dear learners. I Aarti Rani, Assistant Professor in School of Computer Applications, Babu Banarsi Das University, Lucknow. Today I am going to deliver a lecture in Digital Governance, Evolutionary Stages in E-Governance. So basically there are 7 stages in evolutionary stages. So I will discuss one by one, and I also discuss the objective of these stages. And in last I will discuss about the case study. This case study is e-Panchayat, basically electronic based panchayat. So let's start with the lecture evolutionary stages in e-governance. I will cover uh, today in my lecture about e-governance, evolutionary stages in e-governance, and also I will discuss about the case study of e-Panchayat, electronic knowledge based panchayat. So before going to discuss about the electronic evolutionary stages in governance, first of all we will revise about the e-governance. So this is e-governance. Many definitions exist for e-governance. Before presenting an overall definition of e-governance, the relation between e-governance, e-democracy, and e-government is explained. So what is e-democracy? E-democracy refers to the process and structure that encompasses all form of electronic interaction between the government and the citizen. And now e-government is a form of e-business in e-governance and refers to the process and structures needed to deliver electronic services to the public, collaborate with business partners, and to conduct electronic transactions with an organization entity. So, what is e-governance? Simply, e-governance is defined as the application of electronic means. First, the interaction between government and citizens and government and businesses, as well as in internal government operations to simplify and improve democratic government and business aspect of governance. So the term interaction stands for the delivery of government products and services, exchange of information, communication, transactions, and system integration. Government consists of levels and branches. Government levels include central, national, regional, provincial, departmental, and local government institutions. Examples of government branches are administration, civil services, parliament, and judiciary functions. Government operations are all back office processes and intergovernmental interaction within the total government body. Examples of electronic means are internet and other ICT applications. So what are the objectives of e-governance? The strategic objectives of e-governance is to support and simplify governance for all parties, government, citizen, and businesses. The use of ICTs can connect all three parties and support processes and activities. In other words, in e-governance uses electronic means to support and stimulate good governance. So therefore, the objectives of e-governance are similar to the objective of good governance. Good governance can be seen as an exercise of economic, political, and administrative authority to better manage affairs of a country at all levels, national and local.
So it is useful here to present objective for e-democracy and e-government. The two main objectives of the e-democracies are to provide citizens access to information and knowledge about the political process, about services, and about choice available. And second point, to make possible the transition from passive information access to active citizen participation by informing the citizen, representing the citizen, encouraging the citizen to vote, consulting the citizen, and evolving the citizen. Now, the main important topic, what is about the stage? What is the stages of e-governance? So it is apparent in various research studies that e-governance is fundamentally linked with the development of computer technology. So networking of computers and communication system. In developing nations such as technologies and system became available with observable time lag as compared to developed nations. When appraising the e-governance model in India, it is established that with the liberalization of the economy from the early 1990s onwards, there has been a convergence in the availability of progressive technologies and opportunities in the field. So now we will discuss about the evolutionary stages in e-governance. In fact, e-governance evolves gradually from the simplest level to advanced levels. So the evolutions may not be the same in the all cases. Several stages of evolutionary progress could be identified. So here the for lots of in different research papers or research studies they are described about the different stages. So now here the following stages of e-governance can definitely be perceived in any government department or government organization. So the following stages are: stage number 1, use of email and setting up of internal networking. Stage 2, creation of intranet infrastructure for access of internal activities. Stage 3, allowing public access to information through internet. Stage 4, allowing two-way interactive communication with stakeholders to enable internet enabled transactions, including financial transactions. Stage 5 discuss about the allowing online transactions by the citizens. Stage 6, enriching digital democracy. And the last, seventh stage, discuss about the electronically integrated or joint government with legislature and judiciary. So these are the total 7 stages in evolutionary e-governance. So in this lecture, I will focus only on stage 1 or stage 2. And 3, 4, 5, 6 will discuss about in my next lecture. So we will start with the stage 1. Use of email and setting up of internal network. The most fundamental, cheapest and easiest ICT tool is email. Email has now become common in all urban areas and some rural areas. Within the government, it is the easiest of all opinion available for implementation. Official order to accept email communication as valid have been issued in a large number of government, judicial and legislative organization. So although email can reach outside organizations via the internet, most government organizations adopt email for internal messaging. So email is a very easiest way to transform the information from one place to other. So due to its informality, email can lead to increased lateral and bottom up communication. So, due to its informality, email can lead to increased lateral and bottom up communication. So, emails break the official hierarchy of communication, as anyone can send to email to any other, breaking the hierarchy and other barriers. So, they allow person to person communication can improve information sharing, exchange, coordination, and feedback of information. However, its limitations are its transparency and security risk of the content. Unless used with digital signature or key encryption, so sensitive and critical messages are still we can say risk of the contents. However, its limitations are transparency and security, risk of the content unless used with digital signature or encryption. So sensitive and critical messages are still best sent over the telephone or in a person. However, with the advent of digital signature and encryption technique, it is possible to ensure integrity, security, correctness, and non-repudiation of the information sent as email. So, the internal networking of various departments of an organization linked to internet or sending and receiving the email is a prerequisite. Most government organizations have already set up desktop in various divisions and sections and internally connected them all for this purpose. So this is a use of best utilization of transferring a message through email. Now the stage 2. So use of internet by connecting internal activities. So while email provides very fundamental mode of communication, the basic and personal use of internet from offices and houses now generally a reality in the urban areas and limited rural areas. Surfing of the web is both a business and pleasures. It has been noticed that most government employees spend a few hours a day surfing the internet, whether for official purpose or personal benefit or for the pleasure. The internet has included an information culture in the people in general and government employees in a particular to serve the internet in the journal for all purpose of information retrieval. So thus the sectors of the government such as agriculture, finance, economy, planning, rural development, etc. can be found to have their presence on the internet in a significant scale, and any government activity regarding any information such as policy statements, strategies, technological or scientific information can be obtained from the internet for the benefit of all levels of people involved in government. For example, the Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister's Office has set up a group of technical and administrative staff only to research and retrieve information from the internet from time to time to prepare reports and presentations. Similarly, the office has also set up an official website giving all the activities of chief minister and service and summary of government activity. So this is basically the use of internet. Now the next topic is I will discuss. This is the case study. So this case study about e-panchayat, electronic knowledge based panchayat. So I will discuss about this case study. First, I will discuss about the introduction. What is e-panchayat? And there are modules. These modules are divided into 30 main modules and 150 sub modules. And last, I will conclude about the case study. So, firstly, what is the e-panchayat? As an introduction, e-panchayat is a software product conceptualized, designed, and developed by National Informatics Center, Hyderabad, Andhra Pradesh, as a part of its e-governance initiative. So, e-panchayat have been designed taking into consideration all the information and knowledge management requirements in a gram panchayat. The 1992 Panchayati Raj Act of Government of India and the success stories of the Gram Panchayat in various states in the country have been taken into consideration while developing e-Panchayat. So the government orders issued by the government of Andhra Pradesh regarding the village secretariats and the functions of the village secretary beside the elected representative of the Gram Panchayat are all considered in this package. So thus e-Panchayat fit well into the information system at Gram Panchayat level. So now the topic is modules. So e-Panchayat comprises nearly 30 main modules and nearly 150 sub-modules in line with the 30 sectoral functions of the Gram Panchayats. Ramachandranpuram Gram Panchayat, Medak district near Hyderabad, Andhra Pradesh, was taken as a pilot panchayat for e-Panchayat. So, Gram Panchayat administration. This module facilitate provision of following information services: minutes of meeting, schedules of Gram Sabha, agenda updates, certificate licenses, bill payment, attendance monitoring of the panchayat functionaries, Gram Panchayat meeting management, Gram Panchayat cleanliness monitoring, registration of birth, death, marriage certificates, etc. SGSY works monitoring issues of trade licenses, pension schemes management system, self-help group and other villages welfare scheme management system. Asset management, property tax assessment and management, property lost found reporting system, law and order management system, encroachments changing the monitoring module, government orders searching and retrieval system, village statistic maintenance and report system. So these are the basically Gram Panchayat administration. Now the module agriculture. This module enables the elected representatives of the Gram Panchayat to manage the farmer's grievance. It facilitates rendering educational service on the best agriculture practices to enhance the yield and reduce expenditure and enhance the quality of produce for the farmer. So basically, this module also enables the Gram Panchayat to report the agriculture production details of the village. Second, irrigation and water conservation. This module provides information on irrigation canals to the public. It facilitates education on various water harvesting and conservation system schemes. This module enables reporting of problems on pipelines, canals, etc. Next point, dairy and animal husbandry. This model facilitates provision of the following information like information on animal disease, information on milk procurement, quality management, reporting on breed improvement programs. Now next point is fisheries, counseling, provision of information, potential fishing zone, provision of fisherman welfare scheme related information, weather forecast. Next point is social forestry. This model covered the mobilization of volunteers by secretary, submitting reports on illegal felling of trees. Next module is election. This model this module provide the information like a registration of voters, objections to voter list, elected representative information, publication of electoral roll, dissemination of electoral rolls. Now next module, small scale industries. This covered about the loan scheme for entrepreneur, raw material source, market information, marketing services, loan payment, loan repayment, information on income generating project. Next module, housing. This provide about the information like a low cost housing techniques information, apply for housing scheme, loan recovery status information, information on housing. Next module is water. Information on water cleaning technologies, approved vendors information for water treatment, water source information, problem reporting and counseling, water cesses, water billing and payment details. Next module is fodder and fuel. This module cover the information services like a smokeless chullas, biogas plants, applications for sanction, subsidies, loan for setting biogas plants, problem reporting in maintaining the plants, request for sampling, energy saving techniques. Next module, roads, bridges and culverts. This is discuss about the here submission of proposal by people, authentication of cost estimates, maintenance problem reporting, monitoring the repair activities. Next module is street lighting and electric supply. This module covers the services like proposals for electing poles and transformers, problem repositing on electrical lamps replacement, status on bulb procured replacement, electrical connection application, and electrical bills. Next module is alternative energies. Alternative energies cover like a solar water heater, solar cooker, dryers, windmills, wind joining information, submission of available biomass. Next module is poverty eradication, like authentication of BPL status, information on schemes, applying for a scheme by a citizen, verify credentials, analyze the request, fund disbursement, status, feedback on the beneficiaries, information on income generating scheme. Now next module, primary education, like an inventory of schools, resource available at schools, teachers information, teaching material, enrollment status, information dropouts. Now next, there's lots of modules. I will discuss the summary of all the modules for, and so now the next module is technical education. It cover all the inventory of ITI and Polytechnic institutes, details of course offered, apply for admissions, schedule of training programs, result and other information. Now next point, adult education. Enrollment of adults, schedule of education programming, training kits for adult education, feedback on education program, and status monitoring. Next module cover library, directories of libraries, information on libraries, texts collected, details on expenditure on book procurement in village library, preservation of books. Next point is cultural programs like enrollment of artists, training of the artists, schedule of programs, information on opportunities. Next point is market, and in next module. So market in this module cover the services like prices, information on food, grains, vegetables, prices, marketing services, scheme information. Next module is health. In health, basically disease information, communicable diseases, attendance of doctors in PHC, states of medicines and consumables, medical demography updation, prevention care, and expert counseling. Now the next module, family welfare. Here some points are provided as a information like benefits of welfare, eligible couple information, status of implementation of family welfare schemes. Next module is woman and child welfare. Here cover the nutrition program, ICDS schemes information, eligible children and nursing mothers information updation, schedule of camps, counseling by health workers. Next module is social welfare. Under this module, information services available are welfare scheme information, inventory, handicapped person, donor information, counseling, apply for a scheme. Next point is cottage industries. This model provide information services on inventory, counseling, loans application, market services, raw material information. So these information provided in this module. And other modules like a weaker section welfare. Next is public distribution. In public distribution, FB shops, stock status, card holders information, problem reports. And next is protection of property. This module cover the complex status of encroachment, maintenance, tax collection bills, land record modules of e-Panchayat enables land record maintenance by the village secretary and rendering verification and certification services to the citizen. This also facilitates land revenue management with appropriate reports to the revenue, Gram Panchayat officials and citizens. Now next is village accounting system, that is called VAS. This module cover the features like cash transactions, bill receipt, DDs and check receipt, automatic challan submission, treasury payment, classified accounts, all kinds of taxes, fees collections, online, offline, and reports like daily collection reports, Chitta, monthly classification, challan, receipt, demand and collection reports. Other village services, OVS, like a birth and death registration. Here the capturing of the event details, name, inclusion, non-availability certificates, registration of event, issuance of certification and statistics. Property tax and vacant land tax. This cover the warrant and distrents, title transfer, demand collections, right of and temporary remissions, vacancy remissions, exemptions, special notice, endorsement, demand notices are covered in this module. And the next is dangerous and offensive trades like a issue of license, cancellation, renewal certificate, demand notice, fee collection. Next is water tap connections and water tax collections, sanction of metered, non-meters connections, disconnections, read connections, regulations, work orders. Next module is advertisement tax, and next is building permissions, and other modules project and work module, work monitoring like a contractor registration, standard schedules, rates, estimate cost value, fund allocation, tendered notice, standard schedule, tender evaluation, work order. And next is very important module is grievance redressal, grievance registration, pendency monitoring, seat section wise. And next module is assets and inventory, asset inventory registration, maintenance of assets, inventory management, rental lease of assets. And then also important is module is court case, filling suits, monitoring of case at different stages such as admission, interim order, hearing, judgment, appeal, disposal of suits. Next module is financial accounting. So here I cover the head of accounts, payment, receipt, chitta and the cash book, demand collection balance. And the next is disbursement of old age widows and disabled pensions. So this module is covered about the accepting applications for old age widow disabled pension from anywhere on the internet under NOAP scheme of Government of India. Generation of acknowledgement slip for the same, reporting the sanction status of the application accepted. So these are points covered in this module. And other is SGRY and other working monitoring like a accepting work request from anywhere on the internet, capturing work details related to all the work as accepted by the Gram Sabha resolutions along with work estimate and technical details, capturing tender details of work funded by Gram Panchayat, capturing work stages and sanction details of work, capturing fund detail on allocation and release with respect to cash and food grains as a part of SGRY. 11th Finance Commission Scheme, allotment of labor's beneficiary to work, payment of wages in cash and food grains to beneficiary along with generation of equities and maintenance of muster rolls, reporting of physical and financial progress of works, reporting on man day generated with respect to SGRY stream 1 and 2nd. So you have lots of services provided like that, generating a generation of beneficiary list and work stage details on work, reporting of work status. So now these modules are covered in e-Panchayat. This is called electronic knowledge based Panchayat. So all these modules provide a different type of services to the peoples, villagers. So in different villages. So now the conclusion is e-Panchayat aims to cover all the information requirements of the village Panchayat, both from the staff angle and the citizen angle. Basically, e-Panchayat is already operationalized by National Informatics Center, Hyderabad, in several pilot villages in Andhra Pradesh. A rollout plan for implementation at the national level is being taken up. So this case study summarizes the main features of e-Panchayat. So I hope this is clear about the e-Panchayat. So e-Panchayat is an e-governance initiative for the rural sector providing comprehensive software solution attempting automation of Gram Panchayat function. It is platform for the Panchayat representative to connect the rest of the world, which aims to bring out the local voice by empower, empowering the local communities to showcase and share local social, cultural, and economic practices, stories, and challenges. So here the picture represent about the digital panchayat in Assam, Haryana, Maharashtra, Bihar, Jharkhand, and MP, different places of India. So basically, the main objective is the e-panchayat is the automation of internal workflow process of panchayat, improving delivery of services to citizens, capacity building of panchayat representative and official, social audit, transparency, accountability, efficiency, and RTI compliances of panchayat, improving governance of local self-government. So I hope this is clear about the this case study and evolutionary stages which I have discussed, stage 1 or stage 2. Next stages I will discuss in my next lecture. So thank you so much.